God bless you, students. Hope you all will be fine. So, our today's topic is Muslim scientists. So, in this topic, we will study about the contribution of Muslim scientists in the field of biology. Muslim scientists have made great contributions to the study of science, and we are aware of their success in different fields of science. Here, we would summarize the work of Jabir bin Hayyan, Abdul Malik Asmai, and Bu Ali Sina in the development of the present day knowledge of plants and animals. So, first of all, we will study about Jabir bin Hayyan. He was born in 721 AD and died in 815 AD. He was born in Iran and practiced medicine in Iraq. He introduced experimental investigation in chemistry and also wrote a number of books on plants and animals. His famous books are Al-Nabatat and Al-Hayawan. So this is all about Jabir bin Hayyan. Now we will study about Abdul Malik Asmai. He was born in 740 AD and died in 828 AD. He is considered the first Muslim scientist who studied animals in detail. His famous writings include Al-Abil. This book is about camel. Then Al-Khail. This book is about horse. Third book is Al-Wahush. This book is about animals. And Falakul Insan. So this is about human beings. Now next comes Bu Ali Sina. He was born in 980 AD and died in 1037 AD. He is honored as the founder of medicine and called as Avicenna in the West. He was a physician, philosopher, astronomer, and poet. One of his books, Al-Qanun fi al-Tib, is known as the canon of medicine in West. So boys, this is all about Muslim scientists. Now you have to learn well about their contribution in biology. So our next topic is levels of organization. So in order to understand the various phenomena of life, biologists study biological organization at different levels. So they are as follows. The first level is subatomic and atomic level. So you can say that this is the starting from very small and proceed towards the larger one. So in this atomic level, all types of matter are made up of elements, and each element contains a single kind of atoms. The atoms are actually made up of many subatomic particles, as we have read in chemistry also, that the most stable subatomic particles are electrons, protons, and neutrons. Now, there are 92 kinds of elements that occur in nature, out of which 16 elements are called bioelements. So, these take part in making the body mass of a living organism. Now, out of these elements, only 6 elements they make 99% of the total mass. What are those elements? They are oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, calcium, and phosphorus. Then other 10 elements they collectively make 1% of the total mass. They are potassium, sulfur, chlorine, sodium, magnesium, iron, copper, manganese, zinc, and iodine. So This is about the atomic level. Now the second level, that is molecular level. As boys, you know that when atoms they combine together, they form molecules. So in organisms, bioelements they usually do not occur in isolated forms, rather they combine through ionic or covalent bonding. The stable particle formed by such bonding is called molecule or biomolecule. Now, an organism is formed by enormous number of biomolecules of hundreds of different types. These molecules are the building material and are themselves constructed in great variety and complexity due to specific bonding arrangements. Biomolecules are classified as micromolecules and macromolecules. Now let us see what are micromolecules and macromolecules. As the name indicates, micro means small and macro means large. So the definition of micromolecule is that micromolecules are with low molecular weight, for example glucose and water, and macromolecules are with high molecular weights. Its examples are starch, proteins, lipids, etc. Then comes next level, that is organelle and cell level. So students, biomolecules assemble in a particular way and form organelles. The organelles are actually subcellular structures, and when they assemble together, units of life, that is cells, are formed. Each type of organelle is specialized to perform a specific function. For example, mitochondria, they are specialized for cellular respiration, and ribosomes are specialized for protein synthesis. So organelles actually, these are the structures present inside the cell. So in this way, functions of the cell, they are accomplished by these specialized structures. It is an example of division of labor within the cell. So division of labor, it means that each organelle has to perform its own function. The other organelle cannot perform the function of the other organelle. As our eyes, they are meant for seeing, ears are meant for hearing. So both they perform their own functions. Now in the case of prokaryotes and most protists, the entire organism consists of a single cell. In the case of most fungi, all animals and all plants, the organism consists of up to trillions of cells. So the larger organisms, they are made of trillions of cells. As we know that microorganisms, they are made up of single cells. Now the next level, that is tissue level. In multicellular organisms, similar cells performing similar functions are organized into groups called tissues. So this definition you have learned in previous classes also, that about the tissues, that similar cells, they are organized and they form groups. We call these groups tissues. Now we can define a tissue as a group of similar cells specialized for the performance of a common function. Each cell in a tissue carries on its own processes like cellular respiration, protein synthesis, but it also carries on some special processes related to the function of the tissue. So there are different types of plant tissues, for example, epidermal tissue, ground tissue, etc. Similarly, animal tissues are also of different types. They are nervous tissues and muscular tissues, etc. So boys, these are the four levels of organization. The remaining levels of organization we will study in the next lecture. So now your activity is that you have to learn about the Muslim scientists, as well as you have to learn these levels of organization also. So that's all up to here. Thank you and God bless you.